to handle more, the missing link between opportunity and performance. Welcome in, everybody. We are super excited to have you join us here in the Grow live across all social media platforms and live within the Grow. Welcome in. As you come in, say hello to us in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We are super excited to get in today's session because it's time to get fit for what it is you're called to be. Fit to be able to handle more and seize the opportunities God has for you. So, welcome in. Say hello in the chat. Who do we have joining us tonight? And this is a great opportunity for you to tag someone, to also let others know that we're on, and tag others in. Welcome in. For those of y'all who don't know, I am Michael Kilpatrick, and I'm one of the leaders here in the Grow. And it is a privilege and an honor to be with you this evening. Hello, welcome, Miss Glenda. Great to have you. Okay, we got Miss Williams in the house, tuning in from Atlanta. Hey. Welcome in, welcome in. We're super excited for what we're going to learn and how we're going to grow tonight. Again, let others know that we're on, tag them in, get in the room. This is a great opportunity for us to grow together. All right, good evening from Atlanta. Hello, Miss Monique. Welcome in. We're so glad to have you tonight. All right, again, tonight we're focusing on being fit to handle more, the missing link between opportunity and performance. Opportunity and performance. We're so glad to have you all. And even if you're watching on the replay, you can share this with someone, tag them in, and get ready. Make sure you have something to write down, just different things that's going to help you move forward. You don't want to just listen, you want to actually be able to take note of things that will allow you to be fit for the more that you are to walk in this season. So we want to make sure you're ready for that. Okay, going to give this a few more moments and then we'll get started. Getting y'all warmed up. Fit to handle more. Fit to handle more. How, even in the chat for those who are on, how are you feeling right now? Do you feel like you're already under a weight of like, man, there's so much more that I'm supposed to move in right now? Let me check the temperature in the room. Where are you right now? Are you in a place where it's like, I know something needs to change in me because what's ahead feels like, yeah, there's a shift, there's a reset needed? How are you all feeling? Or are you in the thick of it now? It's like, yeah, I need a reset now. Where are you? Feel free to add in the comments below. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get started. And I do have a presentation for you for this session. And there's a lot that we're going to learn, a lot that we're going to be impart, but a lot that we're going to really dig deep in so that you're able to see some shifts in your life. Okay. So again, today we're focused on being fit for more. So fit to handle more, the missing link between opportunity and performance. So the importance of tonight is to learn why your body is the foundation for consistent execution, leadership stamina, and long-term success. I feel you. I understand in the midst of it. At times, I still feel in the midst of it too. Even though I'm teaching this, there's a reality that we can continue to grow in this. So I'm right there with you. All right. So today, the vision is this, right? You know how you can have a personal vision? Well, the vision for today's lesson is that you become the person who can sustain and steward opportunity when it shows up. You're able to sustain and steward opportunity when it shows up. All right, cool. We got somebody in a reset. Awesome. So we need a reset. I'll pray that this really helps you get that reset you need so that we can move forward and better have the capacity for what it is that we need to have to move forward. All right. So we want to become the people who can sustain and steward opportunity when it shows up. We're the type of people that, expand my territory, enlarge my territory, allow me to, I want more finances. I want more opportunities. I want more engagement. I want more interactions. I want more influence. We want more and more and more but are we fit to handle it? Have we become the person who can sustain and steward the opportunities when they show up? Okay, so there are three main targets, three main learning goals we're going to get out of tonight. First, we're going to identify capacity gaps in our lives. The first thing we want to do is be able to identify the capacity gaps in our lives. The second thing we want to be able to do is to reframe what fitness is. We're going to reframe fitness as a performance tool. And lastly, the third goal and target of tonight or this session, even if you're watching this during the day or tomorrow morning or a week from now, the third goal is for us to be able to implement a simple foundation to increase your energy, consistency, and output. So yes, this is not just going to be head knowledge. You're going to get something to get you started, to get that reset you need, and to get yourself in position to be fit to handle more than what you are currently right now. All right. So make sure I want to make sure you're in the right room, right? And it seems like we already are. And also get others who are in the right room. You know that friend, you know that family member who's stressed and overwhelmed, know that there's vision and purpose on their lives, but for some reason they're always exhausted, depleted. They need to be in this room, right? You need to be able to, you need it for you, but the Lord is also showing you somebody else that is needed for. So for this is for those who are building, leading, and stepping into more, and we're going to get into it now. Before we move forward, there are some things that I want to make sure we cover. So for those of you all who may be new, you're watching in other areas. All right, this is the Grow Gathering. Who are we? This is a center of advancement for real life. This is a place where we grow together. This is not a church. This is a place where we get to gather and be the body of Christ across the nations. We have leaders and people in South Africa. We have family in other continents. We have family throughout the United States. And this is an opportunity for us to do life together beyond our local context. And sometimes our local context, which is important for us to fellowship with and engage in, sometimes our local context might not have all the things we need to support our growth. So the grow is a place where is an intentional space to grow, contribute, and stay connected without the pressure of being anything other than yourself. You don't only get to give, but you also get to receive. This is a place where you can be free in developing and free in being able to exercise some of your gifts. So definitely we encourage you to join the Grow Gathering, thegrowgathering.com. But what types of things are in the grow? Let's go through that really quickly so that you are aware. All right, we have what's called life pods. This is our opportunity to do life together intentionally. You can have a big group, but the reality is when we get in these pods, we get to gain greater relationship. So just for context, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but we have a space mantled for men. This is our men's pod where men get together. For the ladies, we have the refinery. This is the opportunity for the ladies to get together. You're a millennial? Hey, there's Thrive House. That's a pod for you to join. If you are single, divorced, or widowed, we have Center. That's a pod for you. There's a space for you to get this assistance, support, and for you to support others through your journey and your reality. We have the Legacy Lounge, which is our marriage pod, where we deal with family things and marriage conversations. We have Diamonds. This is for our seasoned veterans. This is an opportunity for y'all to get together and have a space for you all can talk about the dynamics that may be going on at your stage of life. Dividends, Money and Mindset pod. This is also the Reset Room we have, which is our wellness pod. We have four more. We have the foundations. You're new in the faith, or you want to just grow and strengthen your foundations, or make sure your foundations stand firm. Biblically, this is our discipleship and daily walk pod. We also have what's called the Vision Vault. If you're a creative or entrepreneur and you want that community and support as you create and birth the things that God has given you, there you go. We also have Intercession, which is our prayer and intercession pod, where you can see yourself being able to say, hey, I have a prayer. Or also, you are manning your post and you are an intercessor, and this is an opportunity for you to cover areas in the spirit by praying for others and the needs that may be in existence across the world outside of your context. Hey, intercession is for you. And lastly, we have our Gen X's. Hey, your teens can be a part of this. You want them to be a part of a group and be in an area that is centered and that's kind of regulated in a way where it's in alignment with the correct morals and the mindset. Hey, get your teens in there where they can deal with their own real realities and also get the supports they need. So join us is the point, right? I took a brief pause in this regularly scheduled programming to say, hey, these are areas for you to get involved and get others involved so that you can get the support you need so that you can grow. And the only way you can grow is to grow together with others that God is bringing to your life. And just maybe he's bringing you to us for not you to just grow from us, but us to also grow from you. So join us. All right. So let's get back to our regular scheduled programming. Who am I? I am Michael Kilpatrick. Normally, when I come on here, it is Pastor Michael Kilpatrick, but I have another hat that I'm putting on today. I'm the performance coach today. I am the person that's helping you to get fit for what you're called to be. So I have a business called Fitness by Digits. I do have a ministry called Fit Life Church that runs parallel, that deals with the ministry side of what my calling and purpose is attached to, where you get fit spiritually, mentally, and physically, so that you can fulfill what you're called to do. But when it comes to marketplace, when it comes to actual strategy and getting you equipped and actually get my hands in there and getting you fit for what you call to be, that's where I thrive in Fitness by Digits. This is where we're building strength, capacity, and discipline. This is where we begin to operate at a higher level and sustain the weight of your calling with physical strength, mental clarity, and aligned habits. With me, you get something different than what you get from any other coach. Any other coach is just going to focus on you losing weight or gaining weight, you preparing for a competition, or you get into that dress or getting your summer body. No, we have something of higher value we need to make sure you're fit for. So guess what? This is an opportunity for you to work with me if you're interested. But this is where this stems from. I do have a presence in the marketplace. So I am a performance and capacity coach. And this is where you get fit to assume your mantle, execute your mission, and fulfill your mandate. Assume your mantle. You've been mantled for something. Can you be fit for it? Execute your mission, right? Can you fulfill it and fulfill your mandate? So this is my domain within the marketplace. This is where I help get you fit. And this is where this stems from tonight, where we are moving forward in. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. Y'all get inside my world, my marketplace world. So let's get into my domain. All right. So I promise you, the first thing that we were going to deal with was to identify capacity gaps, right? The first target of tonight that I said we were going to do, if we're talking about getting fit to handle more, we need to first address what capacity gaps we have in our lives. Okay. So why do we need to do this? This capacity gaps will prevent us from experiencing favor. Favor? What are you talking about? Hey, if you didn't know, in the Grow, this whole month, we're focusing on favor. This is the month of favor. That's what we're focusing on this month. Okay. So this is an opportunity for us to not just know that there's favor available. This is for us to obtain it. So in order to obtain the favor or realize or experience the favor, first we got to identify the gaps so we can close them, right? So let's talk about the gaps. First, we need to recognize the tension. Recognize the tension that comes with these following four things. Opportunity. You want to be fit to handle more, right? But here's the problem. With more opportunity comes the tension of being too tired to continue to seize those opportunities. Sometimes the tension that comes with the platform is that you don't have the energy to show up consistently or in the full capacity that you know you should to execute well. The tension. There's also tension when it comes to growing. The gap there shows up in a decline in our own health. Also, the gap shows up in when it comes with leading. When it comes to leading, if we're not careful, we're not fit to handle more because we're running on empty. We're continuing to show up, but we're not able to be effective because we're running on fumes. So these are just 4 examples of where tension arises and what that tension looks like. What tension are you feeling right now? I challenge you to name it, identify what is that capacity gap. It may be something I stated, it could be something else. What capacity gap are you experiencing right now? What is that tension that you're feeling? That you know that there's more, but you aren't ready yet to handle the more because there's tension. There's a capacity gap. Okay, let's address that. Feel free to drop that in the comments. What tension are you facing? Okay, what tension are you facing? And then, or you can also include, hey, it's related to opportunities that I'm dealing with right now, that I'm just feeling too tired. It's the platform that the Lord is moving me into, or that my job is trying to elevate me in, or that my family, that this access that I'm beginning to have, this connection I'm beginning to have, and yeah, it's draining my energy. What tension are you facing? Because if you can't identify the tension, you can't close the gap. You can't be strategic in knowing what it is that needs to shift. You got to know that. Okay, so what tension are you facing? And some of you all may not be able to articulate that. You might have to process through that outside of this session. Absolutely okay. But the first step to be able to be fit to handle more is to identify where the gap is. What tension are you dealing with? Okay, I see in the comments, growing. Absolutely. Growing. Sometimes there is a tension with that. So we need to make sure, okay, growing. I get that. If I had to identify what often is mine, is often too tired. Why? Business of life, schedules, like plans, being able to needing to identify what is the priority. What do I need to focus on? What do I need to be willing to say no to? All right. So many of y'all saying growing. For me, I know I'm in a season of opportunity where the tension and the gap is trying to arise. Because the reality is, in every season of life, you have some form of tension you have to address. It may not be big, it could be small, but we want to always continue to close the gap, right? Unless we at 100%, which none of us will ever be. It's kind of like in education. Every year, I don't care how smart your school is, there's a gap somewhere. Everybody didn't get 100% on every single test. Every student in the school, there's some kind of gap that can be closed and that needs to be addressed for greater growth. Okay, so be willing to identify that. All right, so this is where we begin to realize our leadership reality. The higher we go, the more that's required of us. Simply just starting. I like that. Sometimes there's a tension, yeah, because there's a wall and just like what it takes to enter in. Thanks for sharing that. That's true. We'll address that as well. But our leadership reality, the higher we go, the higher you go, the more that is required of you. Like I said earlier, we want more, we want to experience more, but are we really fit to handle the more that comes with it? So what does that look like sometimes? More decision making that's required. So you need to be more sharp mentally. You need to have the mental space and energy to be able to process through things quickly, because leadership requires not just decision making, but quicker decision making skills. Requires more energy. It requires more consistency. Whereas before you could tap in and tap out when you want to at the lower level, leadership, where God is leading you or where you find yourself, leadership requires you to exert a certain amount of energy that you can't hide as much anymore. You have to lead the people. So first lead yourself. Energy, more consistency, and more presence. The higher you go, the more is required of you. So, as you identify those capacity gaps, it's not just the tension, but the reality. What is your reality? What more is being required of you in the season? Where is that capacity gap showing up? Feel free to enter that into the chat or process through that. What is your reality? Right? What's being more required of you in this season? Okay? So, identifying capacity gaps. So, we identified the tension, we've dealt with the reality. Now, let's deal with the dilemma. The dilemma is that most people focus on when it comes to leadership, because I believe I'm talking to leaders, I'm talking to builders, I'm talking to pioneers, I'm talking to people who are forerunners, I'm talking to people who are called and mandated to lead. You have a mandate, you have a mission, you have a mantle that you're meant to carry in your sphere of influence. And the reality is, when it comes to these leadership areas, many times we focus on the skills, the strategies, and the mindset to do more, to be better, to grow. And all of those things are good. But guess what? The dilemma is, if you only focus on the skills, if you only focus on the strategies, if you only focus on the mindsets, you still find yourself limited. Why? Because we need to also focus on the physical capacity, the energy systems, the recovery, and the sustainability to actually be able to show up and execute. You can do all the things, you can gain all the competence, you can gain all the connections and the networks and all those things. But if your physical capacity and your energy and your recovery and sustainability isn't there, your leadership is vulnerable. Your level of success is at risk. Your ability to fulfill what it is that you are mandated and commissioned to do and complete is at risk. So we have to understand that there is a leadership dilemma. We can't just address the skills and the things that we need to do to execute. We got to address the vehicle. So I want you to think about this for yourself personally. How well are you stewarding the primary vehicle required to show up in your leadership as it relates to your body? How well are you stewarding the primary vehicle required to show up in your leadership, which is your body? You go hard for everybody else. You study, you stay up, you do all the things to make sure everybody is well. You do all the things, but guess what? As a performance coach, as a person who is as a performance and capacity coach, I don't just care about your ability to have the skills and the strategy. I care about your capacity to be able to do what you're called to do in excellence. I care about you, because you not in good shape physically prevents you from being in good shape and producing something that's life-giving and that actually allows what needs to be produced to actually be manifested and demonstrated in the areas that you've been called to. Okay? So that is what we need to address. Address the dilemma. So, what have you been ignoring in this season? It's time to stop ignoring those things. Have you been ignoring your physical capacity, your energy, your recovery, or your sustainability? All right? Here's the real problem. You're building success on a body that can't sustain it. You keep pushing. You keep saying, yep, there's more for me. There's more for me. I know there is. And there is. But the reason why it hasn't opened up yet is because you haven't gotten yourself in a position where you fit to handle the more that's coming. I love it. Thank you for the feedback. So that physical capacity is what I'm working on. If I don't take care of me, I won't be able to operate anything. So true. There have been seasons, even with me, where it's like I just want to go forth. I want to see things manifest. I want to see things grow. I want to receive more and give more. But have I address the capacity gaps as it relates to my life in order for me to be able to walk into those things, to be able to fulfill that mandate, to be able to show up for you, and to even be able to do this. Can I be honest with you? Even 2 months ago, I had to pull back. Why? Because I had to address the capacity gaps within the inside of me. I wanted to keep pushing, but I was starting to become depleted and not good or in good shape or fit to show up to do what I needed to do, right? So this is the risk that you're facing. Building something that your body can't sustain. So now the mission takes you out when you were supposed to fulfill it. Okay? So we need to address the real problem. So it's time for a reframe. So we address target one, identifying the capacity gaps. Some of you need to go back and think through those things. What does that look like? What are those capacity gaps in my life? Where's the tension? Where is the reality? What is the reality that I'm facing? What is the more that is being addressed in my life that I need to say, hey, I need to get aligned so that I'm able to handle what's coming, right? Where am I not stewarding my body well so that it is the vehicle that allows me to be able to navigate through and last in what it is I'm called to, okay? But now it's time to get to target two. Y'all ready? Target two. We need to reframe fitness as a performance tool. Fitness reframe. We need a fitness reframe. So let's go definition. Y'all ready? By definition, if you Google this, say fitness definition. These are the two definitions that come on your screen. It says, the first one will say, as a noun, the condition of being physically fit and healthy. The condition of being physically fit and healthy. Can I help you? This is more so like a personal vision. This needs to be your vision. I desire to be physically fit and healthy. Is that your desire? This needs to be your vision. Your vision to be physically fit and healthy. I'm not saying to be the next bodybuilder. I'm not saying to be the next superstar athlete. Physically fit and healthy. That's the vision. Why do we need this as the vision? Remember, vision helps you fulfill a mission. So what's the mission? The second definition that Google will give you. The second definition of fitness is the quality of being suitable to fulfill a particular role or task. The quality of being suitable to fulfill a particular role or task. That's the mission. That's what I need to be able to do. That's what I need to be able to show up and be able to execute in. I'm teaching. I'm bringing you into my fitness world, right? But as a performance and capacity coach, not one that's just trying to make you look good. I need you to be able to not just look and feel good, but I need you to be able to show up in excellence in your thing, in your domain, right? So notice suitable to fulfill role or task. The role is the mantle. What mantle do you have? The task is the mission and mandate. And if you recall, this is where I said, this is where I fit in. I help you get fit to assume your mantle, execute your mission, and fulfill your mandate. So the role, mantle, the task, mission, and mandate. This is why fitness is important. It's just not about looking good or, trying to create some thirst traps. We ain't trying to do that around here, right? We are just trying to do what we're called to do. Not making fitness an idol, not making it something that we're trying to become and look like a god. No, we are just trying to make sure that all that we can be, we're able to do and execute, okay? So now that we have that reframe definition-wise, fitness for leaders. Fitness for leaders. This is what it looks like. Fitness for leaders. This is a reframe. It's about your energy management, stress tolerance, execution consistency, and leadership stamina. The reason why you're tired every day at work isn't because you're lazy. It's because you haven't trained your body to be able to operate effectively, fluidly, and efficiently. You need more strength. You need greater capacity. You need to expand your ability to be able to handle more. You have to train your body to make it fit to handle more. Stress tolerance. You have to be able, like, you're wondering why you're so ready to go off. You're ready to just get aggravated at the most little thing. It's because your body is not in proper shape to deal with what it is. You need to release some stress and tension. Hey, welcome in, Mr. Geraldine, sorry. Welcome in, sorry. But execution consistency, being able to execute. You cannot execute consistently if you're not in shape. If the vehicle, think about it. If your vehicle is out of shape, guess what? You can't get to the destination. You can't fulfill the mission. You can't get to where it is that you want to be. So it's important for us to execute in fitness so that we can see greater execution in the areas of our life. And leadership stamina. Fitness helps with that. So reframe the purpose of fitness in your life and in your mind. You won't engage in fitness until you get the revelation of why fitness is important. Many people don't engage in fitness because we believe it's a vain pursuit. We believe that it's solely for idolatrous purposes. That's not true. Even biblically, some people throw in, well, fitness is of some value, but righteousness is of great. Okay, yeah, it is. Spiritual fitness is the supreme, right? But some value is still value. Some value, if you really want to be the best you can be, you would be a better steward of the vehicle that and the first gift that was given to you, your body. The first thing that was given to you was your body. At first, somebody else had to help you care for it and train you how to care for it. But now you're responsible for it. You're solely responsible for it. And we need to be able to do what we're called to do. So it's important for us to take care of it well. And that includes training it. So reframing fitness. So true. When your vehicle when you get an oil change, it performs better than before. Yes. You got to keep a well-oiled machine. Absolutely. So reframing fitness. Fitness is not just about looking better. I know you can say fitness is not about looking better. To some degree, it is. Because here's the reality. I'm not going to go completely preaching on y'all. But think about it, right? A lot of times we're just like, oh, that's not important. But if you notice in the Old Testament, a lot of descriptions of the people that the Bible mentions, like even the whole aspect of God doesn't look at the outer appearance, but he looks at the heart. Well, then how come when David was chosen, it still talked about his appearance? It still talked about the way he looked and the way his health. Think about that. Daniel, they were fitter than the rest. Understand that for what God has called you to be and do, or whatever your mandate, whatever your belief system is, the reality is this. The way you look also matters, because also you're presenting to someone before they even say a word to you or hear a word from you. You're showing your discipline. You're showing that you can have consistency. You're speaking before your body speaks before you say a word. This is not to body shame. Please understand, I'm not body shaming, but understand how we care for and take care of our body does give a reflection, correctly or incorrectly, about who we are. So it is somewhat about looking better, but that's not really what it's all about. It's really about performing better. It's really about being the person that can execute at a high level and be a trusted leader that other people can look up to and trust. You don't just talk about it, but you actually live it out, and it's seen. Okay? So I just want to throw that out there. Again, fitness by digits. Don't feel condemned. It's like, oh, I messed up. This is not condemnation. This is a fresh start. Hey, from where we are, what's the next digit? What's the next step to get back into alignment, to get my faith back into alignment, to get my body back into alignment, to get my mindset back into alignment so that I can execute at a greater level to be able to handle more and be fit to handle more. All right. So, reframing fitness, that's what that is. So, we've so far addressed item 1, identifying the capacity gaps. We did part 2, which was doing a reframe of what fitness is. So now let's get practical. We've talked about things. Now, what can you actually do now? Yes, performing better for me helps me look better and see things better. And it also helps you feel better too, right? The better you feel, the better you show up. If you feel lackluster, if you don't feel like your best self, guess what? You're hanging your head low. But think about when you're actually working out and you're in good health and you're able to breathe freely and move freely and not feel aches and pains. Guess what? You moving, shaking, and baking, and you're showing up with greater confidence, right? So if you want to be fit to handle more, you need to be able to walk right, walk straight, with your head high, confident, and be able to move forward. So we need to grow in our performance and capacity by making sure we're fit to handle more. So let me give y'all this third promise. Okay? Foundational fitness framework. This is the basics, right? This is where you start. If you like, I don't have time to Google, I don't have time to figure this out. Where do I start? Okay, I need to get on track. Yes, I need to gain greater capacity. I need to get out of this cycle that I've been in. Well, guess what? I have the basics for you, right? I'm not just going to talk to you about the things, what you need to do, and not give you something that you can start with now. Okay? Yes, shaking and baking. All right? So, the performance foundation. The performance foundation. So, this is where actually let me go back 1 second. I did want to say this, right? So, the foundational fitness framework. This is where we're going to implement a simple foundation to increase your energy, consistency, and output. The goal of this is for you to have basic next steps, basic next digits to be able to increase your energy, consistency, and output, right? So this is you being able to maximize the favor. So just as a recap, identifying capacity helps you realize that, hey, these gaps are preventing me from experiencing the favor. The reframe of fitness is showing you that, hey, this is preventing me from operating in favor. So now let's understand how we come out of those things and actually be able to maximize the favor by operating or doing these basic things. All right, now we're ready. So there are 4 things that I'm going to address: your training, your nutrition, your hydration, and your rest. The performance foundation. Okay, so let's get it. Training. This deals with your strength and structure. This is about structure over randomness. Structure over randomness. You need to identify a basic workout routine and identify, am I going to do full body? Am I going to focus on certain body parts? But this is, before I get into the specifics or my suggestions for that, let me finish these thoughts. This is the baseline that builds your strength, stamina, and resilience. Training, the first bullet, builds your strength, stamina, and resilience. It's about consistency and structure. It's not about intensity. Does intensity work and help you grow and gain in increasing the weight and increasing? Yes, it does. But when I'm talking about intensity, it's not you ego lifting and you just going so hard in the paint that you burn out before you get started good. This is about, hey, I'm taking the next digits to get my body in shape. I'm not trying to become the next bodybuilder overnight. I'm not trying to become a superstar athlete by this weekend. It is sustainable steps to get your body functioning and get your body moving and better operational in the areas you've been called. Okay? So, it's not you killing yourself in workouts, right? Oh, I got a breakup state. If I don't feel like, you know how those memes are. Like, if you're not dragging yourself out of the gym, if you're not crawling out, then you ain't have an effective workout. No, that's not what we're trying to do, right? So, functional start. This is what it looks like. Training at least maybe 3 times a week. Start there. Pick 3 days in a week. And I'm not saying this needs to be some 2-hour workout session. If you have 20 minutes, you have 20 minutes. Find you a 20-minute workout video. Find you something basic. Find basic workouts, work sets, or whatever you need to do that's in alignment. Identify what that is, right? Start with the 3 days a week. It doesn't have to be long. You don't have to kill yourself working out. All right? Focus on progression. That's where digits, fitness by digits, focus on progression. Don't feel like you just got to be the master all of these things at one time. No, focus on progression. Hey, I was able to do 2 push-ups today. Great. Next time, shoot for 5. Next time you get 5, work on form. Think about form over just trying to be able to do 100, right? You want to do good workout so you can not find yourself being injured. And like, man, I quit. I injured myself. And now you don't want to go back. No, don't traumatize yourself. Think progression. Some of you all, even beyond the 3 days, or if you can't do the 3 days, start here. Start with moving your body every day, especially for those of you all with sedentary jobs. Start moving, start walking, even if you walk every day, combine this with your prayer time. Combine spiritual fitness with physical fitness. Take a prayer walk. Pray and walk. Allow God to speak to you and you speak to God and you interact with people. Find a partner. Clear your mind. Do something to be able to engage in this. One thing, I'll give you an example with my wife. What she will do is during her lunch break or her 15-minute break or whatever it is, she will, hey, I got to break away from this desk. I can't sit here all day. I'm going to go take a walk. I'm going to take a 15-minute walk. I got my 15-minute walk in today. It doesn't have to be super big. Oh, I got to walk for 30 minutes or I'll run for an hour. No. Take the steps to get your body in shape. Okay? This is going to impact your strength, your energy output, your stress tolerance, and your confidence and posture. Okay? Now, let me go to nutrition. Y'all ready? So, if training deals with strength and structure, nutrition deals with your fuel and recovery. This is about fuel, not just about food and taste. I know. You really like your sweets. I know you really like, that candy or those things that, it's just so delicious. I'm not saying you can't have those things, but you need to start pulling away. You need to start being mindful. Is this fueling me or this is just satisfying me for a moment? Is this just satisfying me for a moment? And if you can't pull away, realize you've become a slave to it, is the reality. You don't want to be a slave to anything. So, and think about it, like that moment, you're eating for the taste, right? That lasts for a moment, but the effects happens for much longer. I'm not going to say a lifetime, but it can last for a while, right? You are feeding diabetes. You're feeding an unhealthy lifestyle. You're feeding high blood pressure. You're feeding yourself to be more at risk for, think about it like this. And I don't mean to I'm just be honest. Think about if there was another pandemic, would your health be in alignment where you could survive it? Some people did not survive COVID-19. Why? Because their health wasn't in alignment, so their immune system was weakened. because they were at risk because they could not get their nutrition in control. Do you have to be reactive, or are you going to get proactive, not knowing what it is we're going to have to face in life? I'm just saying. I said it. All right. So think about that. Shift your thinking. It's not about dieting either. Oh, I'm going to go on this diet and I'm going to shrink. Dieting can be sometimes the worst decision. Why? I'm going to tell you what a lot of people are not telling you. If dieting can lead to greater weight gain later on, because when you stop dieting and you fall off and you don't stay consistent with your nutrition, guess what? You gain all that weight back plus some. So think about more so better nutrition, not dieting, not crash in these quick diets that get quick results, but then you lose it just as fast as you gain it, right? And you find yourself in the worst position. You can't expect higher performance from a body that's not fueled properly. I'm going to say that again. Fit to handle more. You can't expect to be fit to handle more if you're not fueling your body properly. I'm not saying you can't enjoy your treat or your favorite foods, but you need to pull back. You need to say, hey, I'm going to have that one sweet treat this week. I'm not going to have it every day. I'm not going to have ice cream every day. I'm not going to go to Publix every weekend, right? Or if I know I have something coming up, hey, I'm being mindful of what I'm eating up until, and so that I can have a moment where I can enjoy, but I'm not a slave to it. I get to enjoy it, not be a slave to it. Just keep that in mind. So, what does this impact? Daily energy levels, recovery speed, muscle development, focus, and clarity. What you eat really does affect you. It affects your mood. Think about it, right? You know, your mama's soul cooking or grandma's like big feast. Guess what you feel during the holidays? You feel like all you want to do is sit on the couch and not move. That first and second plate, the food is heavy. Guess what? Did that really fuel you? Or did that really cause you to be more sluggish? Think about the types of foods that you're eating and the fats and the things that you're eating. It's affecting you. But you want to be fit to handle more. You want to be able to go to the nations, right? You want to be able to go and be the speaker, or go and travel and go and do all this, be entrusted with more. I can tell you if you really want it by how well you're keeping and maintaining your nutrition. Whew. Yes, it does. It made me feel heavy and sleepy too. I enjoy it when it's available, but guess what? I can't eat like that regularly. If I know that I'm called to more, I can't eat like maybe what some other people eat like or are used to eating like. You know, sometimes even when I eat fast food today, it tastes disgusting. Why? Or I feel very sick because my body's not used to eating like that. Right? So make healthier choices. All right. So foundational start for this. Prioritize protein every meal. Shoot for 2 to 4 meals a day. And here's one that you probably are surprised that I'm gonna say: no under eating. Wait, I thought if I eat less, then maybe I'll lose weight. No, it don't work like that. Hello, is this microphone on? You avoiding protein and you avoiding eating doesn't help you lose weight. It don't. What happens when you do that and you starve yourself and then all of a sudden you eat and you eat this big meal? Your body stores it. See, I'm putting y'all on game. Your body stores it because it doesn't know when you're going to feed it again. So that's why, wait, I'm not even eating that much. Why am I gaining? Because you're inconsistent with your nutrition. You're inconsistent with fueling your body. Your body doesn't know what to expect. So it hoards everything you consume, especially the bad stuff, because I need what I need to survive. No, you need consistency. Just saying. So maybe some of y'all need to meal prep for lunch. Maybe some of y'all need to stop skipping lunch at work and only eating like a snack in the morning and then eating dinner at night. Maybe that's contributing to your lack of being fueled and actually having the energy you need to perform and do what you're called to do now, and preventing you from being fit to handle more that is meant for you to walk in later. Just a side note. So here are some signs. Here's a sign. You're tired. It might be because you're underfueled. And the impact of being having low fuel is low output. A lack of being fueled leads to low output. So think about your energy. Stop thinking about food as, "Ooh, I'm making sure I'm not hungry." No. Think of food as fuel. Am I feeding myself with premium gas? Remember, we're talking about our bodies being vehicles. Am I feeding myself premium or am I feeding myself trash? Not even regular. Am I getting some cheap gas that's causing me to put as I move forward, expecting to reach my destination? Right? We don't want that. Your body can't produce what it doesn't have. So what you fuel it matters. All right, hydration. This is your performance baseline. The baseline that determines whether or not your body can perform at all. Yes, nutrition fuels it, but can you perform? That's hydration. So if you're dehydrated, your body is already operating below capacity, regardless of what your fitness goal is. If your fitness goal is to gain weight, to lose weight, to build muscle, to that, none of that matters if you're not hydrated. And a cheat code: if you're just drinking water, like filtered water, you might not actually be hydrated. Man, I know my time is almost up, but I gotta go here. I remember, personal example, I was scene class sponsor for a school, and we had grad night. And we went, and basically I got dehydrated. I had to be taken out by the ambulance. That was my only way out the park, y'all. And it was like past midnight. I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm looking crazy. But I had gotten dehydrated. I couldn't walk anymore. I was vomiting. It was bad, right? And so they had to put IV in me, an IV in me to get me hydrated, right? But one of the things I will never forget, the person that was taking care of me, the doctor, the nurse, or whoever it was, basically told me, it's like, hey, like, are you staying hydrated? And you can't just drink water. You need something with electrolytes in it, because that helps your body absorb what's needed to keep you hydrated. So just drinking water, you can be drinking water all day, but are you really being hydrated? So what do I do? Or what do me and my wife do now? We will add lemon and salt, a little bit of Himalayan salt, or we'll add I like lime. I prefer lime and a little bit of Himalayan salt. And I drink that. Some of you all, you might just prefer to get one of those electrolyte packets, whatever the case may be. Again, I'm putting you on game. I mean, you can Google this stuff, but hey, this is why we grow together. If you want your body to actually be able to absorb, you need to make sure you have electrolytes with it so that your body can absorb it. Otherwise, you might not really be hydrating yourself the way you think you're hydrating yourself. Okay? I just put you on game. So, understand the impacts of hydration. This affects your energy, your focus, strength, and recovery. Your energy, focus, strength, and recovery. When you're dehydrated, you can't think straight. Start feeling dizzy, right? And it allows you to recover. And some of us, we're wanting to grow or whatever, but the reality is most of our body is water. Most of what even fills our muscles, water, right? So we need to make sure that we're fueling ourselves properly. So foundational start. Where do we start with this, right? I talked about making sure you have electrolytes, or you do whatever you need so that your body can absorb it. But where do you start? For some of you all, I would most recommend starting with half your body weight in ounces. So say you weigh 120 pounds. My suggestion is that you prioritize drinking 60 ounces of water a day. Say you weigh 160, start with 80 ounces a day, right? Some people will suggest, oh no, you need to drink half a gallon of water every day. You're researching, you look, oh, you need to drink a gallon of water a day. Start with this. Start with trying to get to half your body weight first. As you begin to grow and being hydrated, you're going to start feeling differently. Your body will get used to it. At first, you might have to go to the restroom a lot. It's okay. Your body's getting used to something different. But as time goes on, your body will get used to it and like, okay, this is what we're doing now. All right. So that way you'll start seeing yourself being able to operate differently. And that's what we want. All right, last one for performance foundation. Rest. Rest. This is the one we try to ignore a lot. This is capacity restoration. So this is the baseline that restores energy, clarity, and long-term sustainability. Energy, clarity, and long-term sustainability. This is where most higher achievers break down. Oh, you all-nighter. Oh, you, I just got to get this done so that I can get this next inch of success. This is what we talked about earlier. You focus on the skills. You focus on all these things, the skills, the strategies, and all these things, yet you don't focus on what is going to allow you to recover and experience sustainability. You have to prioritize recovery or your performance will decline. I'm going to say it again. If you want to be fit to handle more, you're going to need to start prioritizing recovery or your performance will begin to decline no matter how driven you are. Team no sleep is team I'm expecting to fail and burn out. All right. So where does this impact? Rest impacts your decision making, your mood, and patience. Don't I know? It affects your hormones, even as it relates to fat loss and muscle growth. And it affects burnout resistance. Okay, so rest is important. Rest is important. What's the foundational start here? Shoot for 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And before you go to bed, cut off your device, your screen time, and caffeine very late or so close to bed so that you can have better quality sleep. Okay? And also it's encouraged that you build a rhythm. Because if you notice, if you build a rhythm, your body's used to waking up at a certain time, you feel less sluggish. So I know what's best might not be always ideal, but what's best is the same time you wake up during the week, you also wake up during the weekend so that your body's used to a rhythm. And if you're going to prioritize sleep, if you're going to get this foundational start, sleep starts with the night before, what time you go to bed. So before setting, I'm going to wake up at this time, set what time you're going to sleep so that, hey, this is my cutoff time. This is my screen time and caffeine cutoff time. And this is my cutoff time. I'm going to bed so that we can get the recovery we need to handle the challenges and the obstacles and the things that need us as leaders tomorrow. Fit to handle more. Tomorrow has enough on its own. Today has enough worries of its own. Tomorrow, it has enough worries of its own. Today has enough, right? So if I want to be prepared for tomorrow, I need to make sure I get the proper recovery I need tonight. Okay? So of any of these, like, I need to work out or I need to rest would be one of the top things I would recommend. Yes, you need to train. Yes, you need to make sure your nutrition is right. Yes, you need hydration. But if you're not getting rest, you are leading to burnout. You grow during recovery, not during exercise, not during your weight. When you train, you're breaking down muscle. When you're having nutrition, you're fueling. When you're hydrating, you're getting what you need. But the reality is, all of those things take effect in your body during recovery. That's where muscle grows. That's where your body begins to utilize what you've been doing with it and what you've been putting in your body. Okay? Burnout is not from doing too much. It's from not recovering enough. I'm going to say it again for all of us high achievers in this place. All of us leaders, pioneers, builders. Ooh, God has given us so much. We have a mantle mandate, mission mandate. We got to fulfill it. Ooh, we want to go in hard. Guess what? Hold your brakes. Burnout is not from doing too much. It's from not recovering enough. Rest is not a reward. Oh, I finished that. Ooh, I can rest now. No, stop treating rest like a reward. Rest is a requirement. Some of us, instead of fasting from food, we're fasting from rest. wondering why our mood is the way it is, our responses are the way it is, and we feel like we're moving so slow, you are not resting, you're not recovering enough. So, I could throw in a fifth one. Sometimes I do. That would be supplementation. This is where I recommend that you get with your doctor. Make sure that you and get your blood work done. Make sure you know what deficiencies you have so that you are able to take the proper supplements and the things that's aligned with what it is. I recommend a dietitian, and I recommend meeting with your getting your checkups regularly so that you know what deficiencies you have that you need to address through supplementation. That's important. Okay. So if you want to perform well, but you're low in B12 or you low in whatever, your iron is low, guess what? You can't perform well. So supplementation would be a fifth thing I would have you prioritize as a foundation. Though it's not listed here, but I did want to throw that in. Okay. So before I move from this, I want to say this, right? When you neglect this, this is what it looks like. When it comes to training, this is what it sounds like. I'm not fit to handle more because I'm unstructured. When it comes to nutrition, what does it sound like when you're not fit to handle more? I'm not fit to handle more because I'm underfueled. When it comes to hydration, I'm not fit to handle more because I'm under functioning. I'm dehydrated. I can't operate. I can't move. When it comes to rest, I'm not fit to handle more because I'm not recovering. And if I was to throw in supplementation, I'm not fit to handle more because I'm deficient. So, your performance foundation, it's time for us to shift. It's time to shift. Oh, I love that. Thank you for bringing that up, babe. My wife said in the chat, my dietitian is free with my health insurance. Use your benefits. Some of us don't realize what benefits has. Some of us have benefits where we can get a therapist, and some of us have benefits where we can get a dietitian. Check it out. You might be able to get one for free and be able to get those things needed, right? Even if you're working with me, guess what? Get a dietitian so that your nutrition can be actually set to meet your needs, right? So you want a trained dietitian can actually legally prescribe you a nutrition plan and things like that, right? A regular fitness coach can't do that, right? You need someone who is licensed. If you really want to dial in, we can tell you general structures of how to formulate your meals, general guidelines, but some of you all have access to a free dietitian and you're missing out on a benefit that you have to help you get more aligned and make better decisions. Even with my wife, she has a dietitian. And basically learning about food labels, really understanding it's like, oh, low fat. Okay, but these other things in here is just as unhealthy. Or no sugar, but you got other stuff and ingredients that's like what's the called? The fake sugar. I can't think of the name right now. But those other that's why you have that nasty aftertaste, right? They try to substitute things. You need to be able to kind of be informed of these things, not become a master of these things, but hey, you can have those conversations that you need to help align what you're fueling your body with. Okay? So, almost done here. Just a few things I want to hit before we close out. The consequences of self-neglect. I need you to understand the impact of this. If you want to be fit to handle more, you got to understand the consequences of continuing to do life the way you've been doing it, not taking care of your body, not getting fit. What will happen? You'll plateau. What will happen? You'll burn out. What will happen? You will shrink your opportunities. You will start saying no to things you once prayed for. Ultimately, you will become unfit to handle more and lose your ability to assume your mantle, execute your mission, and fulfill your mandate. This is the consequence. These are the consequences of not getting fit. And notice I said it like this, self-neglect, because you have a responsibility of stewarding, taking care of, maintaining, developing, and growing the first gift that was given to you, your body. So as a performance and capacity coach, one that knows that there is a calling and anointing on your life, I cannot stand silently on the side and let you continue to operate in self-neglect. It's time for you to get fit and in alignment to be able to handle the more, because we should be growing. We should be developing. We should be seeing expansion in the areas that we've been called to. But we can't do that and lead well in those areas if we're neglecting the vehicle that allows us to move forward and lead others forward. Okay? My nutritionist comes with my doctor, package deal with my insurance. Awesome. I love it. Use your resources. Many don't start or finish strong because you try to do it alone. This is the season not to do it alone. This is why y'all need to stay tuned with the growth, because more of this is coming to you all. So this is your leadership reality. High performers don't wait until life slows down to get healthy. We get proactive. They train so they can handle more. If you're a true leader, if you're a true builder, pioneer, forerunner, whatever it is that you're called to be, if you're a high performer, you don't wait until life slows down to get healthy. Guess what? The reality is this: life won't slow down. More is always coming. So guess what? You got to train for it. Let's get our bodies in alignment and build the capacity necessary for us to move forward. So this is the reality. Building capacity is not just the first step. Sorry, I said that wrong. Building capacity is just the first step. That's step one, right? Building capacity without execution will leave you stuck. We know that to be true. As a leader, you know that's true. So today we talked about building capacity to handle more, but capacity alone doesn't produce the results you need in your life. Execution does. So next month, I want to lead you through something a lot of people struggle with. Not what to do, but why you're not doing what you already know you're supposed to do, right? This is where next month, if y'all stay tuned, right? Up next, stay tuned. Next month, we're going to talk about built to execute, turning capacity into results. Turning capacity into results. Here's the reality. A lot of people don't have a knowledge problem. They have an execution problem. And we want to break that. So we'll break down how to eliminate procrastination next month, build discipline, and actually follow through consistently. So if today exposed to you some areas of needs when it comes to your capacity and where you need to grow, next month we're going to make sure that you actually begin to execute at a higher level, right? So I'm not going to take y'all another hour. We're going to meet back up again next month, right? How many of y'all enjoyed this session? Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed this session, right? And you ready for part 2 for executing, being built to be able to actually execute. All right. So now if you're realizing I just need more, I don't need more information, or I don't just need more information. I need more structure, accountability, and systems to actually build this. You may need to reach out to me. And so if you're interested, you can reach out to me. I'm on social media platforms, Fitness by Digits. You can reach out to me in the Grow. You can also, we have, again, like I mentioned, we have a hub called the Reset Room, which is our wellness pod, where we can engage there. Or you can also reach out to me, and we can get started from there. Okay. So this is I have 2 ways that you can work with me. I have an opportunity where you can have a clarity session with me, or you can actually get started with the 90-day journey process with me, where we can get your life aligned and we can discuss what those things look like. So if you're interested, you can reach out. But if anything, you should join the Grow Gathering. This is a great opportunity for us to do life together. And you can do so by going to www.thegrowgathering.com. Also, I believe the QR code may be coming up on the screen just shortly, and you can join. Some of you all are joining from YouTube, Facebook, outside of the platform, but guess what? There are some things that only happen in the Grow. So this is the opportunity for you to engage. It's like, hey, this is what we do. This is how we get fit. We don't want to just grow. We don't just want to show up spiritually. We don't want to just move forward and just like, hey, name and claim the thing. We actually want to be fit for it, fit to be able to handle more. So definitely join us. It's time to grow together. Okay, so I pray that this was a blessing for you. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. Whether you're watching live on the replay, again, if you want to join the grow, you have the QR code on the screen, and you have in the chat the website to go to. I want to pray for you all, because that's just the pastor and the ministerial aspect of me. So, dear Lord, I thank you for every person tuning in live on the replay. I thank you, Lord, that you don't just give us an assignment. You just don't desire to utilize us as your workmanship. You want us to be fit for your workmanship. Even in First Thessalonians, where you talk about where Paul even prayed, may God make you fit for what he's called you to be. I do also in this moment share that same prayer. Lord, make us fit for what it is you called us to be. Make us fit for what it is that you want us to be able to steward at the next level. Make us fit for the ability to be able to handle more. Thank you for every person. Thank you for giving us the wisdom and the guidance to take the next steps to move forward. And thank you for just how this is even going to allow us to grow together as we do life together here in the Grow and beyond. We love you. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. We encourage you to join the Grow. We have a lot more for you this month. It is not over. My wife have a discipleship session coming up, and she's doing Sunday Night Fire coming up. We have different other places within the pods that's coming up. You don't want to miss what's going on in the Grow. So if you're not in the Grow, you're missing out, because it's time for you to grow, and it's time for you to be able to fit to handle more. So guess what? Tap into the favor by accessing the favor, and where you realize how to obtain and maximize it. So join us. We love you. Have a great evening. Share this with someone, and I will see you back next month. All right. Good night. Have a good one.